and I'm up, can't sleep. So I figured I'd do this topic. Last night, I saw the headline that was displayed by Ring, Ring Magazine YouTube channel. They posted it. Mike Capinger is stating that Errol Spence is going to be returning to the boxing ring to face tszyu sometime in the summer, but tszyu is going to be taking a tune-up. Um, no word that Errol Spence is going to take a tune-up before getting in there with tszyu, but that's just the reports that they're saying. It could happen. It might, you know, like I say, it could happen. It might not. Errol Spence been out of the ring for what, 3 years? Last time he fought was in July of 2023. So, um, I mean, it's a long time being out of the ring. And then tszyu, what's up, Jay Wills? Says great fight, I think, considering where both are in their careers. So yeah, I wanted to kind of break that down. Um, he said he thinking tszyu's a tune-up. I mean, I don't know. Be honest with you, man. I want to start with Errol Spence. Like my humble opinion. I don't know if this is a move for Errol to kind of like save PBC. Coming back after all of this time being out of the ring. You know, man. But Spence was the guy. At one point. I think that man, it was kind of hard to say who had the most clout at the top of the game. Was it Errol, Wilder, or Tank? AB even had a little buzz at one point too. But it seemed like Errol's buzz was kind of up there. Tank may have been exceeded it a little bit, but Spencer's was up there. Um, but yeah, sometimes in the sport of boxing, all it takes is one loss, and if it's a devastating loss like how he took versus Terrence Crawford, then yeah, man, you could be sidelined for quite a while. And we've seen this with Errol Spence. And every time I've seen interviews where people have approached Errol, whether he might be at an event or maybe like the Frank Martin fight or something like that, supporting his fighter, he'll be like, nah, And when they ask him about when he gonna return to the ring, he just will be real. He kind of nonchalant, like he just, we'll see what happens, kind of same way he used to talk when they was asking about, the Bud Crawford fight happened. We'll see what happens. But that's just the thing, man. I don't know if Errol's heart is in the sport anymore, man, after taking that loss, man, to Terrence Crawford. And I don't know if this is if he's still old, out having a fight, or I don't know if he could just walk away peacefully like Terrence Bud Crawford has done, in the sunset you know, um, with your legacy intact, got a big bag on the way out. Errol's been out of the ring so long to where it's like, man, maybe he got to come back, man. Maybe he, you know, maybe them bills is piling up, or maybe he been on the ranch a little too long, man. And I don't know, man. But to be out of the ring this long, man, and then to try to jump right back in the mix with a lot of with a guy who's been active. And I want to talk about Zoo too, man. Zoo definitely has been active, but man, he been in some wars, man. Um, and that's the two key things that stand out to me when I'm looking at this fight is that these guys have been taking some. I mean, when you think about, it, I'm like, well, who's taking the most punishment going into this fight? It's got to be tszyu. Bud did take an ass whooping versus. I mean, Arrow did take an ass whooping versus Bud, but Tim took an ass whooping versus Fundor twice, and Bakum Murtazaliev got him out of there, smoked him in 3 rounds. I remember that fight. So Tim Tszyu has definitely took some damage too. They both have had their fair share of beatings. So, two fighters who have been stopped, you know, Difference is one guy is active in tszyu, and Errol has been extremely inactive. And then tszyu is doing a smart thing by getting a tune-up, because they're saying they're iron this fight for the summer, but he's taking a tune-up match before jumping in there with Errol Spence. And Mr. Big Fish Errol, I guess he just figured that, he back. So he just gonna jump in there and put me where the sharks is. So I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a mistake for Errol Spence. I think even with the beatings that tszyu has taken, he still has the momentum going into this fight, because just like we've seen in the past with Errol Spence, going into certain fights, it's just a question mark, like especially like he had, his brutal car accident and all of that. People just like, man, is Errol gonna be the same? This, that, and the third. So now after this loss to Bud Crawford and then this long layoff, it's the same question. Like, damn, man, is Earl gonna be the same? Is he the same dude? Um, and then once again, going in there with an opponent that is just like, man, you should probably take a tune-up. Cause we said that about Danny Garcia. When that first fight he took off that accident was Danny Garcia. People was like, nah, man, Danny got 11 toes, fam, and he got that hook. You might not want to do that, bro. He did it though. He jumped in there. He didn't care. Errol, he didn't care, man. He went from Danny to the. Did he do the Ugas fight right after that? Yeah, I think he went from Danny to Ugas, and Ugas, made him, spit out his gum shield or whatever. But he beat up Ugas too. Then we all remember what happened when he got in there with Terrence. Terrence different, but he tried, man. He didn't duck. I thought he was gonna duck, Earl. I thought you was gonna duck. You didn't do it, so you earned my respect. You got your ass whooped, and like I said, you was gonna get your ass whooped. But you earned my respect for getting in there, man, because a lot of people be ducking out here. Let me see if this pulls up. I was just looking at Vasquez's box rate before I got on here. He is coming off a victory to Anthony Velasquez, but he did fight in his hometown. So that fight wasn't really shit. That fight wasn't really shit. We got a UD. I think I watched that fight. I just can't really remember it. It probably wasn't all that anyway. But yeah, tszyu is at least he's staying active. After getting your ass cooked by Fedora, you know, take a light touch, stay busy. So he'll have 2 tune-up fights then. So after this Anthony Velasquez, he's gonna get another one, also in Australia, and then maybe that's the issue though. He may not need to fight in Australia, and I know he fights good in front of his home crowd, but when you fight Spencer, you're not gonna be in Australia, fam. So you should have just fought a tune-up in the States, man, just to keep yourself, you know, in that type of uncomfortable environment, so that you're not going into a shock mode again, get in front of a different fan base and get cooked. What up, Renfro? Trav, what up? He said Smith gets knocked out within 6. Damn. Yeah, I don't know, man. He might. He might, bro. Because one thing I know about Tim is gonna rush you. You know, he ain't from the overseas or nothing like that, but he do be rushing. You know what I'm saying? He from Australia, but he be rushing. He be rushing people, man. But you can catch him. And I just don't know if Errol Spence at this particular, you know, point in his career can deal with that type of aggressive animal. You know, he might need. I don't know, man. But this is Errol's life, man. This is Errol's career. I honestly feel like they might be pressuring him to jump in there to bring some excitement back to PBC, because PBC ain't been on shit. Keep that shit a stack, man. This is, trying to be the resurrection of PBC. So I see what they trying to do, man. So yeah, pulling up Spence got man, look at that. So yeah, man, back in July of 2023 was his last fight, man, against Terrence Crawford. Before that Terrence Crawford fight, man down, man down, man down. This man down shit that they chance. I wonder if everybody gonna come back out, man, to support him. That's crazy, man. You see how these fan bases do, man? Nigga take an L and they out. I have not heard shit. Well, IOTBA and all these dudes, man, this is fucked up, bro. Y'all gotta show the love. So hopefully they come out, and troop it out with this man down shit like they used to. You know what I mean? Like old times. Just come back out and do the strap season shit and talk about and break down fights, man. Because dudes act like they can't break down no fights, and when their favorite dude lose and shit. Be like, damn, there's more content out here, man. So now that Arrow is back, maybe a lot of these other people that has been on retirement, because Arrow wasn't the only one that retired. A lot of people channels had to retire and shit. When this man lost. Same thing with Canelo. And you see with these fanboys, when these guys lose, the next thing you know, they got a 3-year hiatus or whatever. It's like, where did you go? Anyway, hopefully they return. Shout out to Jamal, some of the homies that be coming through and shit. They still in whatever, man. Soup thermometer. They can come back out. But yeah, man, Errol. Maybe this is a pump fake. Maybe this is a real return. Because Mike Cavinger do be capping sometimes. He gets some of them right, but some of them he do get wrong. So Errol Spence versus tszyu. That's what they saying. I'm rooting for you, Errol. Hopefully you win, man. Hopefully you win. I hate to see your ass, no disrespect. I just hate to see you go out losing to an Australian. Even though Australians have a lot of heart. But yeah, man, I mean, if Errol is back at, let me see what percentage. If he's back at maybe 75%, he should still beat tszyu. Anything less, you might get cooked. Because tszyu does, he is pretty strong. He's an aggressive guy. Since it's going to be a new weight class for Errol Spence, it will be his first pro fight at the 54 division. I don't know. Maybe he has his sights on trying to become champ again. I don't know. But it's a long way off right now, man. It's a long way off. tszyu, it'll be big for him. Man, he needs something to help turn his career around. It has been a bloodbath, in multiple fights where you just don't want to see him go through that anymore. I don't think Errol will punish him the way he got punished versus like Fedor and Murtazaliev. But yeah, man, I think it's scar tissue issues or something, man. He does split pretty easily, especially after that elbow that Bony Fedor landed on him in that first fight. It's just been, split decision, split season in this man's face, man. But anyway, tszyu, best of luck to him. Best of luck to Errol Spence, man. The one they called the truth, man. Till he fought Bud. And it was a man down. Unfortunately, it was him. And then it's interesting, man, that the ass whooping can really just change transformation promotions, man. Bud Crawford's a hell of a fighter, man. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather, like I said before. Bud is a hell of a fighter. Hell of a fighter. Oh my God. Errol Spence. Man, I wasn't trying to laugh, but I'm just saying, bro. I have never, ever in watching boxing seen somebody just make a total transformation the way I seen Errol Spence transform after that ass whooping from Bud Crawford. He literally looked like, one of them niggas that I would see, downtown, homeless promotions, man. But no, this is still Errol Spence underneath all of them, underneath, and I think that's real. That's real hair he grew out, man. So yeah, man. I think Errol has just been going through it. And it was assisted by Bud Crawford, man. Mr. BTA himself, man. BTA champ of the world, man. Bud Crawford, man. Man, oh man. And they took the time, shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh, the ring ceremony. 2025 fighter of the year, man. He had one fight and it was quality. Quality over quantity. A lot of these dudes be fighting hella fights per year. But they ain't not hitting on shit, man. It's not adding up. The quality is not there, But Bud Crawford, believe you me, has some quality wins, man. And it's got to be great when you have another great presenting you the award. And Usyk, shout out to Usyk too, man. But yeah, man, Errol Spence, man, I don't know if he's gonna return to the ring with the locks, or if he's gonna, we're gonna see the Errol Spence as we knew him, man. With the fresh shave, edge up, all of that, man. Maybe the judge will allow, what's the name, Yellow Beezy, to walk him out while he's on trial and shit. I don't know, probably not, but anyway. Best of luck to Errol, man. Like I said, I'm rooting for him. I think this is a kind of a desperate attempt to save PBC, because PBC, like I said before, is it's in the gutter, man. So this is what it look like. Look like it's in the gutter, and this is desperado right here, man. Anything to try to just bring some excitement back to PBC like it once was, but it ain't hitting no shit. Y'all see what's going on. Tank is locked up, or maybe out on bail or whatever. Deontay left. AB is alcoholic. Who else, man? Chief Keef about to fight Fundora, and he's been, you know what I mean? A lot of shit just didn't fell off, man. A lot of them niggas didn't fell off over there at PBC. And this might be it. This might be the last stop. And maybe he owe Al Heyman a favor or something. A lot of people say that Al mad at him for taking that Terrence Crawford fight. So we'll see. Maybe he's this is the way of feeding him to the wolves, man. Throwing him in there with tszyu after all of this time out. And they said, no, nigga, you don't get a tune-up. So maybe Al, declined his option or offer to get a tune-up in. So maybe it's not even Errol's call. And that'll be fucked up. Maybe a lot of these guys will learn from this shit, because, like I said before, a lot of these guys are on the wrong side of the street. And the PBC fighters were saying that shit, but we found out, that shit was a lie. They was talking about everybody else on the wrong side of the street. No, you niggas on the wrong side of the street. You know what I'm saying? Y'all legacy ain't on shit. And a lot of y'all paydays ain't on shit. And y'all's fucking active, activity level in the sport ain't on shit. Y'all on the shelf, man. Growing your hair out and piling bills up, man. That's what it looking like. Trav said looking like Ice-T in that movie where they took him to the woods to hunt him. Yeah, man. Exactly. You know what I mean? Look like you out here trying to keep a low pro, on some J. Cole type of picking Spencer. Spence over Timber. Shout out to Edgar. He said Spence over Timber. Timber, you mean like Pandora, or you talking about Tim, like tszyu? He said Timber. But yeah, maybe he mean over Tim. And if that's the case, yeah, surviving the game. Yeah, man. Let me put that back up. That's exactly how you look, man. You right, Trav. I'm glad you said that. I'm like, he look like somebody. Yep, Ice-T from that movie, Surviving the Game. So maybe this is another form of surviving the game, man, with PBC. So yeah, man. Hopefully a lot of these guys get some freedom. It seems like a slave contract's low key over there, PBC, man. That's just my humble opinion. And I just hope for freedom from these guys, man. Y'all seen how Bud Crawford went out, man? Free man. He got free from Bob Arum. Everybody was talking about he was a slave. He was, a good slave over there, top rank. He got his money, got out of the contract, got with one of the richest people in the sport, with Turkey Al Sheik, with the Riyadh season shit, and then voila, basically, open the doorway for a lot of these other fighters to get paid, you know. And I wish Errol can get a piece of that pie over there, man. But maybe he's on restriction, punishment, man. Sucks, bro. It sucks. Shout out to David Benavidez. Without David Benavidez, man, it would have been a wrap for PBC. That's all y'all got over there. Top ranked Toby, right? All that shit, Trav. Top ranked Toby and all that shit. What are they over there at PBC? You got to come up with a nickname for them. Talking about top ranked Toby. Well, top ranked Toby then took over as on top of the game and retired on top. While a lot of his former opponents is looking homeless out here, man. 3-year retirement, bro. You know you got your ass whooped bad when you're getting, man, 3 years, bro. Yeah, man, so Al Heyman in control. Look at Floyd now. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know too much about that, really, to really do a topic on it. But I don't know if it's just a distraction, just to bring clout to PBC and make a headline, because I be thinking they on funny shit. A lot of times they just be saying shit just to say shit, But I don't fuck with nothing over there as far as like Showtime, Steven Espinosa, and the mysterious Al Heyman backdooria type of checks, what they say, back end money. Get out of here. Back end money and all that. Hey man, I don't know what they talking about. It just sounds like some goofy shit. And the ones that's really getting the money, we see what platforms they on, and we see what promoters they messing with. PBC over the fighters ain't getting paid like that. They not. Because why? If they was, why are the biggest stars over there leaving? Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, man. Speaking of surviving the game, hopefully Errol survives. This test, man. Getting in there with tszyu. That's if the fight happens. So I'm just, jumping down in front of it, giving my pre-fight thoughts and prediction. In the case that it does happen, we'll see. So I wish Errol nothing but the best. I want him to get a good payday, continue to take care of his farm animals, take care of his family, and it reignites some excitement in his fans, man, because there's been cobwebs, crickets, and just silencios out here, man. Silence of the lambs out here, man. And he returns looking like you said in the chat, Trav, looking like Ice-T from Surviving the Game, man. So, man, matter of fact, he looked like them dudes that was trying to y'all remember Bad Boys? I think Bad Boys 2. Them Jamaican niggas that was trying to rob them and shit. They had all them, the AKs and all them shits, man. Yeah, that's what he looked like, man. You are not welcome here. Looking ass, nigga. That's what they look like. We don't know nothing. Bad Boys 2, man. Watch Bad Boys 2. You'll see him in there, man. He was one of them niggas that one of them rip niggas that was, trying to shoot up Martin and Will, man. Or Mike Lowry and them. But yeah, that's all I got for this one, man. We on to the next. Oh yeah, as far as my prediction, damn, it's tough, bro. 50-50 fight, man. It could go either way. Damn, I hate to do this to y'all, man. Man down supporters. I might go with tszyu, man. Right now, I'm favoring tszyu. Despite him being brutally beat up in multiple fights, there's still something about being active. Activity level. If Errol show up with the fresh cut, I'm going to say he's back and he's going to win. If he show up looking like them Jamaicans from Bad Boy 2, he's going to lose, bro. He's going to lose. So he has to return in full Errol Spence form. This other guy is not going to cut it. So it's determining on that. That's my pick, is determined on the hair or no hair. The hair, he loses. He loses the hair, he wins. That's my pick. May the best man win. See you in the summer, Errol, hopefully. On to the next.